Blame Ocean Man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to ABA Refusals. Let's be real. Everyone's here for the David McGillen refusal. If he does, I think there's a 77% chance he stays. But basically, right now I'm on Alaska, and we'll go right to it here. So contracts, especially the rookie contracts, will be in after this. So that you guys will notice that there's a thing here. I'm joined with a sizable in-house group. I think we'll end up doing uh, what we'll do is we'll do these, the more just us hanging out things for refusals, but then we'll do YouTube lives for playoffs and progs because those are kind of a little bit more formal and people like those to be more standardized. We also might private these videos. That's still to be determined. Either way, everyone knows that if they speak here, whatever they say is going to be posted, even to what degree they don't know yet. So with that here, we start with Alaska. So Alaska is going to have a ton of cap space. They finished off the season a little disappointing, but were pretty strong. Fortunately for them, Nick Jacobs, Lonzo Ball both did not refuse. They'll probably be able to bring back their strong core. For this, it's a win. I think Juwan John should be posting this into their refusals chat momentarily. And with that, we will move on to the next team here, Anaheim. We have our first refusal. If somebody wants to post this in refusals, Ocean or Billy, if one of you guys wouldn't mind doing that for me here, and just posting, we have a refusal in Angus Balagovic. And then actually, real quickly, as I sort greater than zero, other way. All right. So if I do greater than one, it only now shows the players that aren't rookies, so we don't see the rookies here. Wacho Midra also refusing. Do you want to add that as well to the list? So two refusals. Angus is a pretty sizable loss, I guess, but I don't even know how much they would want to pay him. I feel like he's a guy that they might even consider overpaying for 1 year. But that's TBD here. Also, as we go, I'll say any cap mins if they're over 60, and then those can get listed and posted if people want to track that for me. All right, our first big refusal really is Demetrius Warner. This should definitely be bolded when you guys post that. If somebody wants to confirm in comments if somebody's actually posting these, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm gonna be real sad and have to go through and do it afterwards. So,
Yeah, we are.
oh, thank you. Cool. I appreciate that, Ocean. All right. With that, we go to Beijing. No refusals there. I'm actually really glad. I was afraid they might lose Matthews, and this is a team that's been waiting for a big man for a while. And if they lost Matthews, that'd be so disappointing, especially because I feel like next year they're really going to take a step up and potentially be a dangerous team and a really good West team. So we'll see how that goes. Looking at Belgrade here, two more refusals. Javante Johnson, honestly, if I'm them, that's not a big loss. Javante was a pretty big part of their team not too long ago, potentially at least, but he never really lived up to the potential. He's become more of just a rotational big man, but he's a little undersized, kind of like a poor man's Jeff Green right now, and that's not really the type of player you want to pay a lot of money to, so I guess they wouldn't have brought him back that much anyway. Papa Ndiaye, he's high PER. He's going to probably sign with a contender that needs a big man. I'd like Chicago potentially as a destination. I could see him being a really part of Chicago's bench. That would kind of be where I'd expect him to go, but I don't see any reason they'd even want him back. He's a 34-year-old backup big man that plays high PER. So looking at Bosnia here, no refusals. I don't think they really expected any. They way outperformed expectations following Axel Blaze and Zion leaving. They're in a pretty good spot here. Nedraj Jordan, of course, not counting for cap minimum, but he actually played with really high PER last season for a guy that's 44 overall. I would.
Peter Pan was better.
Yes. Yeah. Peter Pan's PER was pretty insane, and so was Trey Bricks. I had tested him where Trey Bricks went off. Oh my god, dude!
Campa's the best.
He actually won 4 6-man years when I tested him as like a 44 overall. It was crazy. All right, looking at Boston here. No refusals for Boston. If I'm them, I'm happy. I kind of was afraid they might lose Dowling or Quinn. They didn't. They have a lot of cap space. Honestly, I don't know if they're going to resign either of those guys or try to play a hand if we see a big star refuse later on here. It's going to be interesting to make that decision. And fun fact about him, I always like to mention it. George King actually hit a game winner in a BAA finals game in real life, right before the NBA merger. Just random fun fact of the day. But
I
certainly
would like
check
to
that out.
say that Boston over exceeded expectations as well, kind of like Bosnia.
Sure, Boston
And
absolutely.
so that might have contributed to none of the
Yeah,
refusals.
yeah, they definitely. Oh wow. So Carolina gets hit pretty hard here. Jake King refusing. Of course, they have two caps, neither of which have a minimum. Armand Cup, Joe Osborne, and Greg Plunkett all refusing. That really doesn't make a lot of sense for me. They had a pretty great defense. King is a guy I can see getting overpaid. He's a very high PER, great on defense, and aging very well. Um, yeah,
Yeah, so in the words of Magic Johnson, I'm not gonna be here.
Magic Johnson sucks. MJ's better.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Magic
think my
Johnson.
cap's gonna have to dip from here.
Oof, that'd be rough. We'll see. Um,
Come to Tampa. We need a guard.
damn. Jake.
How often does everyone refuse except for Caps? How
I've
often
already
does that
locked up
happen?
my point guard.
It's rare. Ocean, are you all caught up, or do you need me to go a little slower?
No, just send me that. I'll do it after.
Well, the export changes, Ocean. That's why we got.
Right, so you can send me this one, right?
No, it literally changes every time you export it.
Well, too late.
Do you need me to go back at all, or yeah? Did you get Belgrade already?
We've got Anaheim.
All right, here. All right, so there's not too many here. So you got Anaheim. Atlanta has Demetrius Warner. If you want, I can run through it. I don't mind. That's not too hard. It's just going to be a little awkward for timing, but I can definitely do it. All right, I got this. All right.
Yeah, go for it.
I've done this before. It's a little stressful, but it works.
So even if you export this one and
Yeah.
send it to me, it's still going to be different?
Yep, it changes each time because it does it
That's
based
so
on
weird.
percentage. Can you clean up Anaheim so it looks presentable, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
And can you break for Tampa? Just kidding.
I was
just
about
kidding.
to say, this is when the water pipe is about to burst. And
Just kidding.
No, you deleted
Yeah.
Anaheim.
I did.
Do you have here?
you just deleted the entire team.
I just deleted
Anaheim. No, damn Anaheim going with a hard loss right there.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun for me.
Tough.
Nah, I mean,
I believe in you, Ocean
I
Man.
believe
You
By the
can
way,
do it.
you've got a filter on.
I do.
Yeah, years with team. I don't know if it's actually affecting anything, but
I have a
well,
filter.
rookies can't.
Yeah, he's just doing
Rookies
that so the
can't,
rookies don't show up.
Rookies, yeah, he just did it so rookies don't show up.
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, it's just a rookies thing. There's no like
Okay.
awkwardness there. All right. Now we should be all caught up. All right, so just gotta do the last ones. I'm gonna bold all the guys that are 60 plus if somebody wants to like point that in announcements.
Just pull up Billy's attributes for a second.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. I'm
just wondering how we got 28 PER.
I'm 0 height. I'm the best cap ever. No, it's just
And he's gonna come to Tampa next year.
my guy's PER would probably be higher if he didn't play as many minutes as he did because he was on Carolina. But on the other hand, I probably wouldn't have got a double-double.
all right, looking at
Yeah, you're gonna get paid, my man.
I'm probably just gonna put my cap on Cincy on a 1 mil deal.
honestly, he's had a pretty good career so far, And yeah,
I mean, I could give him a ring.
yeah, but
No, I could
since,
give him a ring.
I mean, since he doesn't have height anyway, he could be like since he's starting power forward.
That's true. Well
I would
said.
have I would have like 3 passers in my starting lineup. Like LaMelo, who
Yeah.
else? Garrett Jennings and my cap. Garrett Jennings is 65 height, and he's my
Charlotte
point guard.
has no one. Chicago is Dr. J not refusing. That's good. I thought
Win.
Dr. J might, but either way, Kentucky got a haul for him. But that's a win. Next up
Yeah,
here,
that's big.
Cincinnati keeps Kevin
What
Martin.
the?
He is their power forward.
The Kmart
He's-
Oh
Express.
boy,
He's gonna have to
Cleveland-
leave.
Cleveland gets hit pretty hard. Casey James, probably one of their only good players, but I don't think they've kept any of these other guys. Maybe Scales, but not like Taylor Johnson's just a role player. If that, he's pretty inefficient. Fireball hasn't been good since he was in Dallas almost a decade ago. Feels like
Still got
Dang,
11
minus-
PER as a 34 player.
yeah. But he's just a 3-point shooting big man. Like that's it.
minus 29 or minus 28 mood. Damn.
But they keep Steele, who probably was one of the only 2 players I really would have, maybe one of 3 players I would have resigned. So I don't know, not too bad a loss.
I guess Cleveland's a horrible team.
I was about to say you can get better than that in pre-regular season free agency.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
any of these players aren't.
They got a bunch of cap.
On 1-year deals as well. Like
Yeah, maybe you don't like losing some of these guys, like some of the young guys, but like even
But the
then,
cap makes up for it.
yeah,
They have 81.
yeah.
I wouldn't consider that a loss for them. Just maybe a minor annoyance. Dallas gets none, which is a little surprising. We'll see if they keep
Let's go.
Riley, DeBerry. John, you're able to post. You're doing re-signings as we go, right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Are you caught up or are you behind?
kind of behind with Ocean Man. Give me a sec.
Okay. I can go back if you guys need. Just let me know. So Dallas, they don't lose their core here, but they're actually a big win because you'll see they have 106 million. They overperformed expectations by making the playoffs here. Phil Riley will probably take less money than they paid him last season or similar salary. DeBerry is going to be much less because DeBerry was on near max. Josh Wade was over 20 million. They're probably going to keep him under 10. If they want to keep running, they now have the cap space to do it. It's going to be like those old Spurs teams with Tim Duncan on cheap salary, but they're going to keep grinding. I guess that's the Texas way. So John, you need me to go back at all, or kind of keep going?
They also had a lot of draft picks.
Yes.
So they got a lot of young blood coming in.
I'm just gonna take a picture of each team. So
Okay. Do you need me to go back?
we can go back after you finish.
Okay, sounds good. Ricky Conaway refusing and Devontae Moore, but honestly, Mike Millsap was the only guy that really mattered here. I guess it sucks to lose those guys, but like you could replace those with 2nd-round picks.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, if I'm Denver,
There's probably undrafted free agents you could replace them with, to be honest.
yeah, they're just scrubs. Like it's weird that they refused, frankly. Mike Millsap, at least he didn't refuse. So next up here, Detroit. Nothing for Detroit. I guess that's good, but they way overperformed expectations. They were the darling of the league at the playoffs. Frankly, if anyone
Oh,
Yeah.
Cranhammer's a 51.
absolutely, yeah, Tim Kramer's really declined. I mean, his
Yeah.
injury destroyed his career. So, yeah.
I know
Wow.
firsthand that they overperformed.
Oh, we got some losses for Edmonton. David Peters, Burleson, and Nagel. Honestly, Burleson and Peters are kind of losses, but not substantial, really. I don't know. I feel like Edmonton's been in a rough spot for a while now, and I feel like they overpaid a little bit for Burleson. So I guess losing him is kind of rough. Like even then, he's not 60, so
The problem with Edmonton is I was explaining to Ocean Man like how you build a team.
Yeah.
And I sort of said the 3 phases, the tanking for assets phase, the roster building phase, and then the contention phase. They've spent too much time in the roster building phase. So whenever they do get pieces that would be contributors on a contending team, like they don't perform well enough to make them want to stay because they spend way too much time in that roster building
Yeah.
phase of their team building.
Yep. Also, follow up with Denver. Their cap wanted me to specify that he is declining his player option. Imagine declining your player option as a 34 overall. Yeah, that's a smart
Might as
business.
well just
He did have
retire at that
negative
point.
4.3 PER.
Negative PER.
So after Edmonton, we got Flint, Excel Brown, who was actually really good and won Finals MVP in my test slim. I'm a pretty big fan of his. He didn't refuse. That's good for them. Quincy Campbell, I feel like he's kind of declined a lot the last few seasons, but for a while there, he was a pretty solid two-way player. But I don't think his career is going to go anywhere. So yeah. Taking a look now at Hawaii, we have actually 60 overall refusing. But Chris Gordon, despite being a 60 overall, only played 11 minutes a game and had 10 PER. That's like the worst
I was
possible.
about to say, look at all the 60 overalls that did.
What a terrible
refuse.
60 overall.
Yeah, it's one of the worst 60 overalls I've ever seen. It's disappointing.
Straight facts.
Some people are asking for my long-term test sim. I can't because I did on my phone. Also, in addition to being on my phone, it was in private browsing mode because I do everything in private browsing mode, just out of habit. So yeah, it's not there. Sorry. But I have
It's actually
Um,
really smart.
all right. Jacksonville.
Hey, TJ, I forgot about him.
TJ. Fleecer forgets about his own cap.
How many caps does Fleecer have?
He only has one.
Well, one, two technically, I guess now. Two, I guess now. Is
So-
TJ considered a banding captain?
No, TJ's not an abandoned cap. He's your cap.
So technically, I'm in control of him.
I think so.
So I have another TJ.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, you can figure out what's going on with that. TJ Kumar not refusing is great, I guess. So I think they are.
I
they're
want
hoping-
TJ Kumar then.
I think Fleecer's going to run him. We'll see.
Can I run
Pretend-
both?
I guess you should only have one, but you shouldn't have ended up with two in here anyway.
I forgot all about him. I forgot all about him.
I don't know how you got two caps, but I guess we have no choice but to allow it. It's not unfairly punish Jacksonville.
If people don't want me to do it, if you want to pay up a vote and say people thing, I don't mind. Do
No,
a poll.
I think if anyone's gonna have 2 caps, it can be Fleecer.
yeah, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it too much. Just I guess be nice to Jacksonville. But either way,
I've been nice to Jacksonville since I've been there.
honestly,
All right.
for this, it comes down to is TJ Kumar a good enough cap for them to keep? And if they decide to keep him, then I think they'd have a pretty strong off season. I don't know how much he's going to want. I guess Fleecer.
To be honest, I don't know what I want. Yeah, I have to check that out.
Courtney was
I'm
pretty
just looking-
disappointing, so I don't see them keeping him. And Neil
Bruh.
Thomas is
Talking about me?
no pretense Courtney. So
Oh.
I don't think he's coming back. So I don't know. I think that honestly they have 30 million in cap space, but they also have 8 spots, so they're kind of in a weird spot cap wise. Kansas City with 3 refusals. I doubt they were going to bring back any of those guys. Oakham with a wasted season. Al Roberts was overpaid, and Willis has just been a drain on the team. They're going to free up a lot of cap space and have some really talented players. So, also, there's no way they bring back Ford, right? I mean, the dude's cap situation single-handedly knocked the team out of the playoffs 3 straight seasons. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you gotta say.
That honestly, this is kind of good for them. At least they won't be tempted. Meanwhile, Kobe not refusing is great. High PER scorer off the bench. Also, everyone likes to root for him, which is weird, but good at the same time, I suppose. I don't really know. Oh, and I skipped over Kentucky. Darnell Brown doesn't want to refuse. That's crazy. I really expected him to refuse, but he really made this his team last season. And if I'm them, I'm pretty excited he wanted to. Like we saw last season. Honestly, for the first time in years, Darnell Brown when he was a star. So Darnell Brown was really good when he was with Anaheim for a few years prior to coming to Kentucky. He took a big step back when he came to Kentucky, and now we're seeing the return to form of Darnell Brown.
When
He ages like a fine wine,
Yes, that's pretty good for them.
just like Ocean Man.
Now,
bro.
otherwise, I don't know if they'll keep any of these guys. They have basically a platoon of big men that just kind of all were meh. The only one there I'd really say brings a ton of value to the team is probably Con Rollerson, maybe Brent Jones, but even then, Brent Jones is he's just an offensive center. That's it. So next up here we have Vegas. Karl Anthony Towns, who's now a shell of his former self, does not refuse. But this team, they need to add a lot to get back to where they were just a year ago. They have the cap room to do it now with Bridges and Towns expiring. Honestly,
Wow, I forgot about Single Bridges too. That was a while ago.
honestly, I think these are the only four guys that I'd maybe bring back into Hilton because of his potential. But like, this team really needs to focus on adding players that aren't on the roster rather than keep rerunning the same guys. I guess you keep Cat because he was such a big part of the team for a while, but Dallas definitely won that trade in 2033. So next here we go. LAD, no refusals. Manhurt's staying. He's probably the only one that they really cared about of these guys. Yeah, they freed up cap room. They now have 46. Maybe they don't even resign him. That way they can focus on somebody else, but we'll see there. Melbourne. Oh,
McGill didn't refuse.
McKellen did not refuse. McGillen is back. All right, so we know
There's
they're
no
gonna,
way. There's no way Josh ain't
Bruh.
resigning him now.
yeah, no,
50 PER. That's incredible.
yeah. I mean, the dude's the best player in ABA history for a
That's
reason.
incredible.
I guess technically Dumb Matter had to nerf him by making voting awards a thing. Like, maybe we'll get voter fatigue. That's the closest thing we've come to nerfing him. But to be fair, Josh did also go out and literally acquire his entire family.
I'm sure David McGill requested it.
The only one that's not on his team is a 70 overall. Which, can we be honest? Like, look at this team. David McGillen, 85 overall. His brother is a 70 overall, Adam McGillen. Meanwhile, Khalil McGillen and Jaron McGillen are fucking scrubs. Like,
You
man,
can't expect the
ball
whole
family.
family to be that
Dude.
good.
but these are like, dude, it's like such a drop off. Like, superstar, scrubs.
Hey, at least they made it to the league.
Yeah.
True,
Well,
true.
they got lucky. They're in the league right now. The
Yeah.
only reason they are in the league is because of their brother.
This is true. Mexico City gets 3 refusals. I guess Byron Sampson would have been a bigger refusal a couple years ago. Nowadays, this is like a shell of the Byron Sampson that we saw. So I wouldn't really worry too much if I were them about losing him. And honestly, freeing up his cap space is probably the big win. He was a good power forward for them for a few seasons, and definitely a win as a contract. I mean, honestly, he helped them get to where they are now. He's just no longer the secondary scorer, the Malone to Bruno Kendricks. Stockton was kind of like an inverted situation. But with AI now, they can definitely pursue a real star. They have $40 million in cap space. We'll see who looks like they get there. Who knows? Maybe McGillen misses his re-signings. Josh does. All right, Miami keeping David Manning is huge. So far, this is pretty boring, honestly. There hasn't been any major refusals, but we'll see. Maybe something changes later on. You guys thought Insane Mode was going to be too hard on refusals. Come on. David Manning staying. McPherson Thompson, no surprise. The dude just is still playing well in his 30s now. He's only 63 overall, but man, a 30 PER, that's tasty, man. All right. Next up here, we got Milwaukee. Oh, Stonkus refusing. That's one of the big ones so far. Rankic also refusing, losing 2 starters there. But Stonkus, a little disappointing for a team that was hoping that he'd maybe be a big part of their future. But
I was about
yeah,
to say that is a ready-made meme, just waiting to be placed in the chat.
Ooh, I hate Hasbro. That's
Stonks.
something. He's like, oh wait, never mind. Never mind. I'm slow.
all right. Well, on a good note, they got to keep Jaden Hasbro, and man, he's put up stats these last few seasons. Honestly, he's going to go down as one of the best scorers in league history, which is crazy.
Tiger.
10 points, 11 points, and then 21, 19, 10, 10, 18. Like, you take out these few outlier seasons, and this dude has been a solid scorer for the majority of his career, including, it's like, almost, aside from when he was with Kentucky when they were absolutely amazing, the dude's almost always been an all-star. Just want to note, though, I'm pretty sure almost every team that he's been good with, like that he's scored over 18 points per game with, or over 17, they haven't made the playoffs. Look at this dude's playoff history, right? Boom. He's only made the playoffs that much. And when he did, with the exception of that run with Boston, he wasn't that great. This guy's played, what, a decade of basketball, right? 14 seasons, and he's made the playoffs 7 times.
Just kind of like a DeMar DeRozan type guy.
DeMar DeRozan at least went to the conference finals a few times. I guess this guy did when he was with Boston one season. He went to the finals one season. All right. That's enough roasting on Jaden. Sure, YBP don't appreciate that. All right. With that, here we look at Minnesota. Still waiting on the Axel Blaze thing. He has not signed an extension yet. I guess he could be the 80 overall free agent that we need. Montreal, Jermaine Hawkins resigns. No surprise
No.
there. Oh, we have a pretty big one. New Jersey losing Mersan. Former MVP John Banks still in the league at 35.
What the? How is he
Damn.
still in the league?
Look at that triple 35. 35 age,
contract.
35 overall.
2-way contracts are how he is still in the league. He is the biggest
Wow.
2-way contracts.
I mean, I'd still sign him with an 18.6 PER.
Yeah, 18.6.
I'll take him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only in 6 minutes, so it's really tough to.
Hey, those are quality 6.7 minutes.
Yeah.
I
mean,
Isaiah
2
Thomas,
assists, like
arguably the better version of him, had 9.9 PER in 16 minutes.
Yeah, but would you rather have a 35-year-old that's probably going to go like -6?
Watch him go up 1. All right. Oh, New York actually with fairly big refusals. Here we got Miles Hill. Which is pretty funny actually because Miles Hill kind of became like a shooting guard for them last season. I didn't realize that's probably got to be the worst 20 points per game. Like the one of the worst players to score 20 points per game in the ABA in recent memory. I mean, prior to this, he was just a pass first point guard. But with Max Powers coming onto the team, he kind of became a scorer, which is weird. I guess he's like mini AI. He could get paid this offseason though. I could see a lot of teams looking for a point guard, make a move on him. Cincinnati could look at him as maybe a power forward or small forward.
center.
Cincinnati does some weird stuff, man. I'm just saying.
I mean, we're past the age of having no bench, but we're in the age of having no big men.
Dude,
so,
can I be honest? I want you to go get Max Powers just for the fact that you could play him at center and still say you're playing all guards.
I'll try to get my own cap and I'll try to get him. That would probably be like, how many point guards would I have? I have 4 point guards in the lineup and probably.
So Max Powers doesn't have a min.
Yeah, you can come here.
Max Powers and Billy Bogues both do not have mins. We have a refusal for Paris here. Ben Tafa, considering I never even knew he existed. I'm sure they don't care that much.
Hmm.
Former second round, I presume.
Pittsburgh with no refusals. That's cool,
Nice.
but they also don't have that much out there. Wayne Oliver, I guess retaining him is pretty cool. Pretty solid two-way guard.
Yeah, I got him in free agency.
Providence is going to lose a little bit though. Frankly, Robinson and Allen don't matter, but losing Copeland is a pretty sizable loss for them.
I mean, he's asking for a lot for his rating, though, I think. So, I mean, I
I
don't know
think
if they would
I
have
would agree
resigned
with that
him.
sentiment. He doesn't look like he puts enough stats really there to be worth as much as he's asking for.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. So I don't think they would have resigned him for as much as he demanded, personally.
Chavo Dorset for Rio. That's another one of those guys that, like, I mean, he's a 42 overall. He's probably just finishing up a rookie deal, and they probably weren't going to bring him back anyway.
Yeager, though, that's good.
Yep, they retain Yeager. I don't know if they're going to pay him the market estimate of 35 million. I could see him settling in like a $22 million 5-year deal or something.
I mean, he's really young. He balls, man. Look at that. 7 rebounds, 11 points per game.
San Diego losing their best player, Swagginson. I think nobody is surprised by that. But they'll probably keep Brown, Pitts Jr.
I wanted to bring Pitts back. If I can't bring his dad, I want to bring his son back.
And sign him. He's a free agent, dude.
I'm gonna if they don't resign him.
Yeah. Being San Francisco here. No refusals.
Alrighty.
Taking a look at Seattle here. Oh, Seattle getting hit with the refusals, but I don't think they would have kept any of those guys. Maybe Moda, high PER point guard.
All right, so I got some insider info from Max Powers. He doesn't want to come to Cincy because his stats are going to drop with 4 point guards in the starting lineup.
But all his rebounds will go through the roof.
Okay.
He's never been a big man before.
It's okay.
Rip.
Damn, this is actually kind of rip. Like, I mean, I don't know if they would have.
Big rip.
They can replace all of these guys pretty easily, but it is a rip. Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Okay, Dan. Okay, Dan.
They
Oh my
lost
god,
McDowell.
that's tough. Oh my god.
Oh no.
This point guard class is going to be
Whew.
wild.
Dowell,
Oh my
Stonkus,
god.
Hill. This is the
And
year
you
of
know-
the point guard. You looking for a point guard in free agency? You got Billy Bogues, you got Max Powers, and
For
somebody
that, I take the year. I take the year. Don't need to get a point guard.
Shit. All right. Syracuse now. They lose Shep Fields. Not really a big loss. Alton Terrell, I guess, is a loss. But the guys that actually play well, Moody and Sovic, they both want to come back. But I don't know how many of these guys this team planned on retaining anyway.
God, I had Moody. I don't even remember.
It might have been St. Louis. It might have been the Spears when you came in.
He was picked. Moody was picked in an expansion draft.
Oh,
Oh,
so
yeah.
He was overpaid by St. Louis.
Good to know. Well, I
I
mean,
can't
this
be-
isn't what you want to see, but it's also not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the Moody loss is probably the only one that really care about, but not too bad. All right.
Nice.
Tampa Bay.
No
Corona
refusals.
Everest.
Well, no,
Corona
no.
Everest not refusing.
Corona Everest is refusing. As Corona Everest.
No, Chrome, come back.
Oh no.
I'll give you. Why?
We got bounced early in the playoffs.
Bro, because
Okay,
Montreal.
We're back in the
Montreal.
running for Max
We'll
Powers.
beat them next year. We need you, Crone.
Can we get a
Whoa.
Tijuana with nothing. Toronto with nothing. That's kind of surprising, I guess. I would have expected some refusals, but I guess they survived it. Utah doesn't get any refusals, though I doubt they'll bring either of those
Who's the
guys back.
Toronto GM?
Penetrator, QVRL.
Okay.
Vancouver with no refusals. Wow, that's lucky on
Hmm.
them. I would have expected them to get a refusal or two. Washington
What
gets
the?
no
It's Steve
refusal.
Huggins. I remember that guy. He was actually pretty decent for my team.
Nick Manier refuses, and Jeff Pohl refuses.
Damn, 0 mood, and he didn't refuse. That was
Well, when you
lucky.
only want money, like
Yeah, Odin's going to get paid by them. I could see roughly around that estimate happening on a 2 or 3 year deal for them. I wouldn't be shocked. So we'll see.
Mm,
Taking a look at Winnipeg, no refusals for Winnipeg. Austin Hamilton
nice.
probably getting a
He's
max
gonna,
deal here.
yeah.
They don't have the cap room to afford it right now, so they're gonna probably have to make some room, or maybe they just barely retain him and then run with the two-way contracts next season on their roster. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Wisconsin with no refusals, and that's it. So
What
refusal
a
wise,
anticlimactic end.
McDowell is really the only big name refusal. We can take a look at upcoming free agents here. I don't think there's any caps that are over 60 that are they're refusing, right? I
except
suppose
maybe
Axel,
I
Axel.
mean, maybe Axel.
Penetrator, and yeah, so Axel and Penetrator.
I don't imagine Penetrato's gonna refuse though.
I'll post this. This is the cap max. Yeah, Penetrator's not refusing.
Maybe Axel, but Penetrator. I think Penetrator's been there too long. I know him. He's not gonna refuse.
Yeah, no, I don't see any way in which he refuses.
Or did Jake Kumar resign?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real bummer. Kelvin McDowell, my man. He could have
Yeah.
had a future. He could have been legendary.
Very funny, very funny.
It's not gonna be a great free agency class because I feel like everyone's gonna get re-signed.
Oh, the point guard classes.
Yeah, the point guards are great.
McDowell, this is going to be a good free agency because you have McDowell, you have Stonkus,
All the tough
Miles
guys are
Hill.
guards. Yeah.
Don't forget my boy Alonzo.
Alonzo didn't refuse.
Oh, gotcha.
Swagginson though, Austin or Magic Max Powers. Wow, Max Powers and
Don't forget.
Billy Bode.
Maybe Swaggy T. I don't know yet.
You could see all those guys are day one starters on even contenders. So
Hey Dan,
yeah,
I gotta talk to you after. I gotta talk to you after the video. Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of caps, just so you know.
Okay.
yeah. Either way, with that, I think we will wrap it up here. We'll get the export out soon, but I guess export don't really matter in this case too much. But we'll get that out real soon. And with that, I leave you adjourned, so to speak, and we'll get free agency out real shortly, and we'll get this video posted. And yeah, have a great weekend. Cool.
How
You
long will
too.
resignings last?
Cool.
Resignings will be 48 hours from when you receive it in your team chat.
Okay.